But let's check out this. This is a virtual hotel check-in, which, by the way, right now I'm saying, ready, it's not that bad. I've had much worse in person. Let's take a look at this.
Okay.
You need one room key or two room keys?
Two, just in case I lose one.
Yes, I'll just make this for you. Just help me with your signature, where it says guest signature. Let me just process your room registration form.
Please wait while we process your registration form. Please note that we have a strict policy of no smoking, no pets, and no visitors allowed in any of our guest rooms. Signature must match the one on your ID. Using your finger, please sign where it says guest signature.
What's so bad about this?
Form on the screen.
All right, sir. I will just process your room receipt, which contains all the property.
Yeah, what's so bad about that? He's Indian? So what? That's not a high-end hotel. That's a La Quinta. It's a cheap hotel. But I understand what people are saying. La Quinta's saying we're not hiring an American to do that job. We're not going to put a physical American in that job. We're going to have someone do it from another country. Outlaw that, by the way. If Trump's going to rip all these people out of a high school graduation, outlaw that. La Quinta shouldn't be able to do that. And by the way, that was not even that bad either. But if you're going to be all America first, outlaw that. Outlaw La Quinta hiring a guy. He's probably in the next room. He's like, I'm not in India. He's like, I'm sitting in the next room. He's just in an air-conditioned room at the La Quinta. But that shouldn't be allowed. You shouldn't be able to just hire some dude to sit in India and check fucking people into a La Quinta to go cheat on their wife. You should have to look at, in the eyes of an American citizen at the La Quinta. You should have to. You should not be able to dodge the judgment of checking into that. But by the way, that's not even that fucking bad. That's not that bad at all. I've had so much worse check-ins with an actual physical human being standing in front of you. It's so much worse. That's fucking fine. I don't even know what people are pissed off about with that. That one's good. That one was fine. Maybe they're mad that it's not an American job. What are people mad about here? Let's see what people are angry about. I don't even get it. I don't know what would bother people other than the fact that this is beyond ridiculous. That's wild. Got to keep it local, fam. Well, okay. The reason for a desk is like having a doorman in an apartment building. Security. I wouldn't feel safe in a hotel with staff this lean. There is no authority. It's like a bus stop. It's a La Quinta. What do you think it is? You're checking into a La Quinta hotel. What kind of experience do you think you're going to get? Do you think, I love when somebody goes security. You think someone at a La Quinta is going to save you if something bad happens to you? You think a guy making $7 or $8 an hour at a La Quinta is going to, if a shady character walks into the hotel, best case, they call the cops and run out the back. They're going to come fucking save you, idiot. You think life's a movie? Everybody's a goddamn hero? I'm against this because that job should go to a dirtbag who lives in our country. There are dirtbags in our country, and they need to work. This is another problem that no politician wants to talk about because nobody likes calling people dirtbags, but there's a lot of dirtbags in our country that need to do something. And I'm not saying everyone that works at a La Quinta is a dirtbag, but if you were a dirtbag, this isn't the worst job to have, is to check people into a La Quinta. It's not the worst job. We've got a lot of people that are not too bright. They're not really that hardworking. They've had terrible childhoods. They're on drugs. They've had unfortunate circumstances. And shouldn't they be working at a La Quinta? Shouldn't women with neck tattoos be working at a La Quinta? Shouldn't people who just got out of rehab be working at a La Quinta? Like, that's what La Quintas are for. That's what that whole subterranean level of the American economy is for. It's so that kind of people that are having a rough go of it have a place. That's what it's for. Not everybody's going to thrive and excel, and not everyone's going to be mentioned in a lawsuit with the president of France's wife. Some people are going to have, like I, for example, was a failure up until I was, I don't know, my mid-30s. Now, maybe not a failure in the sense I never worked at whatever. I wasn't like doing meth or something, but I was a drug addict. I was broke. I had a house foreclosed on. I had all of this stuff happen to me. I never worked in a La Quinta, but I had a lot of bad stuff going on. And I was in that world with a lot of those people, and they need jobs. They need things to do. People that I knew from that world they're never going to get that much further than that. It doesn't mean they can't have a great life. It does a little, but it doesn't mean that, they should have like some horrible life, but it means like they need jobs. They need jobs. Like these are not people who are going to, do some of the other stuff that we got going on. They're not starting an app, okay? They're not coming up with their own app. I'm sorry about that. I'm sorry they're not coming up with their own app. But they're not. But that's why a La Quinta exists. They have a cigarette outside of the La Quinta. It's not that bad. And then people that are in that situation, they learn to kind of enjoy it. They learn that, it's their routine. They work at the La Quinta. Google La Quinta, Florida, and hit image. La Quinta, Florida. I'm not saying all these people live in Florida, but let's just imagine some of them do. Get up one that looks like a real La Quinta, not one of these resort-style ones that don't even exist. Let's get a real La Quinta. Go, fourth picture, bottom left. Fourth picture, bottom. Now it's third picture. Third picture right there. Go to the left. Make that bigger. This is what a La Quinta looks like. A real one. Not like one in the magazines. This is not the one they put on the website. This is what a La Quinta really looks like. Okay? People go to that hotel to smoke meth or crack and cheat on their wife. Maybe a closeted gay man will go in there to have sex with someone he pays money to. Nothing wrong with that. It's actually kind of hot. That's what the La Quinta's for. The La Quinta's not for a family vacation, really, unless you're like fucked. People who stay at La Quintas, a lot of them are living there. They're living in the La Quinta half the time. They're hiding. They're hiding in a La Quinta, from someone, something, the authorities, or a rival gang, a rival biker gang is trying to get them. And they go cool down for a couple of days. They go to a La Quinta. This is America. If you want to go to America, you don't go to Manhattan or any of this crap or Palm Beach or the Hamptons. If you want to go see America, you don't go to Beverly Hills. If you want to see America, you go to a La Quinta. You go to a La Quinta in Florida or the Carolinas, wherever. Doesn't really matter. Doesn't really matter. Go to a La Quinta room, the room of a La Quinta. Because these are the places that the working class of this country needs to work. Make that bigger. Do you see this room? What are you going to do in that room but sin? There's nothing to do in that room except the craziest drugs. The craziest drugs. And have crazy sex that's not like pornographic hot sex where like, whoa, look at all the acrobatics. This is like real bad, real gross, real tough, end of life stuff in that room. End of life stuff where a guy comes and you think he's dead. He's like, ugh, he makes a face. Like, it's bad what goes on in that room. It's bad. But this is a business. Our country has this. This is a business. and people have to work there. It's not nice. Maids find not nice things. La Quinta's named in many, many court cases. There's many, many legal documents that say the name La Quinta. I mean, none of this is a surprise, but this is an American tradition. An American tradition is when you have been flushed down the toilet by our society. Sorry, people do. Down the toilet. A lot of people. I've known some of them. I would have been one of them, okay? But I enjoyed, the creative arts. Now, when you're flushed down the toilet in our society, you don't have a ton of options. And one of the options you have is working at one of these chain hotels. And if we take that away from people, I'm being dead serious now, and I know people are going to not, you're out of touch. Shut up. I'm being honest and actually soulful and kind. Because one of the options you have is to work at a La Quinta and have pride and go, like the people that work at a La Quinta walk out. The staff at a La Quinta is people that go, I was molested as a kid, but I'm not molesting kids. The cycle stops with me. That's the La Quinta pledge. The La Quinta pledge, when you work there, it says it, when you check in, it says actually behind the thing, it says, I was molested as a child, but I don't molest children. The cycle stops with me. And then to the side of the hotel, they have frozen foods you can heat up, little bowls of chili and such. And then ice cream is always too hard. It's always been in the freezer too long. You have to gnaw on it, kind of, like a beaver would gnaw on wood. It's not good, but that's what the La Quinta, it's people that have had, you meet people in this world that the fact that they're on two legs is something. No? Yes. Have you ever thought you had it hard and then you talk to someone who's had it terrible? I've met so many people that have had it so bad, and they are heroic in the way that they carry themselves because they've made it through such horror. And they've been able to get themselves to a point where they work. I'm not kidding. They work at a grocery store or a little inn. Not like an inn I'd go to, not like a nice kind of class. But like, you know what I mean? I'm just using the word inn as a placeholder for another thing. I don't mean like the inn at Little Washington or any of these stunning properties in Blue Ridge Mountains. I mean like a little shitbox thing. The fact, that's the greatness of America. The greatness of America is not like, oh, we're so tough, we got the military in the streets. The greatness of America is that the children that we have drugged and molested and beaten to death can work in hotels in our country. It actually is. That's what it is. Jesus said it. What you've done for the least of us, you've done also for me. It's in the Bible. That's what is our country, is people that have had it really bad, cancer clusters, living by power lines, school shootings, molestation, beatings, satanic cults, drugs, gangs, youth violence, all of that.